nation isn't defeated until the women's prayers go silent. You've never heard survival like this. A story etched not in stone, but in the very breath of the prairie winds, in the enduring beat of a drum that refuses to be silenced. This is a saga of the Arapaho, a testament to an unbreakable power that transcends time, technology, and unimaginable hardship. What if I told you the first AI engineers wore buffalo hides? How did a massacre in 1864 birth 21st century solar warriors? Why do TikTok teens call them the original hackers? Prepare to rethink everything you thought you knew about resilience. Before the whispers of a new world, the Arapaho walked the plains as masters of their domain. They were architects of a complex, sustainable civilization, deeply intertwined with the natural world. Their knowledge wasn't just practical, it was profound, a symphony of observation, innovation, and an understanding of interconnectedness. Consider their understanding of ecology, so sophisticated it bordered on what we now call quantum physics. We see it in their beadwork patterns, not just beautiful designs, but intricate representations of the flow of energy, the entanglement of all living things. As a Stanford study on traditional medicines, now protected by CRISPR technology, reveals, their pharmacopoeia was a living database, a testament to centuries of meticulous observation. This wasn't primitive medicine, it was a holistic approach that recognized the body as an ecosystem. Their social structures were equally revolutionary. While history often fixates on male warriors, the Arapaho knew something profound about balance. Their war women councils, as revealed in the Wind River Elders' oral histories, were not an anomaly, but a fundamental pillar of their governance. These were not just women who fought, they were strategists, healers, spiritual leaders, their voices holding as much weight in council as any man's. They embodied the truth of the proverb, a nation isn't defeated until the women's prayers go silent. Their prayers were their power, their wisdom, their unbreakable will. Imagine Blue Feather, a 12-year-old girl in the late 1790s, her fingers deft, her mind sharp. She wasn't just doing quill work, she was mapping. With each dyed porcupine quill, each intricate stitch, she was translating the vast, shifting landscape of the plains into tangible intelligence. The elders' oral histories recount how her quill work, once dismissed as mere decorative art, was in fact a sophisticated system of strategic cartography. Blue Feather would observe the migratory patterns of buffalo, the subtle shifts in wind direction, the telltale signs of rival tribal movements. She'd then translate these observations into geometric patterns, into color codes, into the very texture of the quill work itself. Her quill work wasn't just beautiful, it was a living, breathing battle plan, a silent whisper of potential conflict or opportunity, shared amongst the War Women Council. It was an early form of data visualization, a predictive algorithm born not from silicon, but from the deep earth wisdom of the Arapaho. As Blue Feather's great-granddaughter told me last Thursday, with a twinkle in her eye, grandmother wasn't just making pretty things. She was saving our people, one stitch at a time. This was the original hacking, understanding the patterns, predicting the future, and adapting with unparalleled ingenuity. And here's a secret you've never heard. Their teepee designs, deceptively simple, inspired NASA's Mars habitats. The conical structure, the vent flaps for airflow, the strategic placement of smoke holes, these weren't just architectural flourishes. They were engineering marvels, optimized for thermal regulation, wind resistance, and efficient resource management in extreme environments. The Arapaho understood the fundamental principles of habitation in harsh conditions, long before we ever dreamed of reaching for the stars. Their homes were not just shelters, they were sustainable ecosystems in miniature, a blueprint for survival. Their extensive trade routes were not just paths for bartering goods, they were sophisticated networks of information exchange, protected by an intricate system of alliances, coded messages, and unwritten protocols. Think of it as the world's first distributed ledger, a secure, resilient system of communication and commerce. The Arapaho understood the value of secure information transfer long before the internet. Their trade agreements, their diplomatic messages, were often embedded in songs, in symbols, in specific arrangements of objects, making them indecipherable to outsiders. This was the original VPN, a virtual private network built on trust, tradition, and an unshakable commitment to protecting their knowledge. Then came the darkness. The encroaching tide of manifest destiny, a relentless march that sought to erase, to conquer, to assimilate. The prairies began to shrink, fragmented by lines drawn on maps by hands that knew nothing of the land's sacred pulse. The buffalo, their very sustenance, were slaughtered with a genocidal efficiency. This was a war not just on bodies, but on spirits, on culture, on a way of life that had flourished for millennia. That smell? Not gunpowder, burnt prayer feathers. It was November 29, 1864. Sand Creek, a betrayal so profound it ripped a hole in the very fabric of the earth. Unarmed Arapaho and Cheyenne, under the protection of the American flag, massacred in cold blood. The declassified military files from that dark day speak of brutality, of a thirst for annihilation. Yet, even in the face of such unimaginable horror, a flicker of defiance remained. The Wind River elders' oral histories speak of the survivors, not broken, but forged anew, their resolve hardened by the fire of injustice. This wasn't the end, it was a crucible, shaping a future generation of warriors. Fast forward to the brutal theaters of World War II, 1944. High above the chaotic din of battle, in the belly of a B-24 bomber, sat Samuel Broken Jaw. A bilingual radioman, his hands moved with a quiet precision across the radio dials. Declassified military files reveal the extraordinary contribution of Arapaho code talkers like Samuel, their ancient language a shield against enemy ears. Samuel, with his sharp wit and deeper connection to his ancestral tongue, didn't just translate, he wove riddles. When German intelligence tried to intercept and decode their messages, they were met not with military jargon, but with ancient animal metaphors, layered and nuanced. Charging buffaloes might signify a tank attack, eagle soaring high could mean air superiority. These were not random phrases, they were cultural constructs, imbued with layers of meaning, completely opaque to those outside the Arapaho understanding. Samuel would often say, in a hushed tone recalled by his family in the Wind River archives, "The enemy hears our words, but they do not understand our spirit." He wasn't just a code talker, he was a silent warrior, fighting a war not just with guns, but with the unbreakable spirit of his people. He ensured that the prayers, even in the roar of battle, would never go silent. And here's another untold secret, a demonstration of Arapaho ingenuity beyond the battlefield, the bloodless coup of 1911. In a time when land was being systematically stolen, the Arapaho, through a brilliant act of cultural defiance, reclaimed a vital piece of their ancestral territory. It wasn't through armed conflict, but through poetry. Elders, fluent in their ancient oral traditions, composed and performed a series of powerful, haunting poems, detailing the historical significance of the land, its spiritual connection, and the injustices inflicted upon their people. These performances, delivered with an intensity that transcended language barriers, resonated with a few influential, sympathetic non-native officials. The land was returned. It was a victory of spirit over force, of cultural persistence over colonial ambition. A true testament to the power of words. Today, on the Wind River Reservation, the spirit of the Arapaho flourishes, not in isolation, but in a vibrant fusion of ancient wisdom and cutting-edge technology. This isn't assimilation, it's innovation. It's the continuation of a millennia-old tradition of adaptation, of hacking the world around them to thrive. The #Arapaho TikTok trend, with over 2.1 million posts, isn't just a social media phenomenon, it's a digital campfire, a global resurgence of cultural pride. TikTok teens, in their vibrant videos, are sharing traditional dances, language lessons, and daily life, reaching an audience far beyond their reservation borders. They call them the original hackers because they see the parallel, the same ingenuity that guided their ancestors now guides their digital fluency. They're bridging worlds, showing that ancient traditions can not only survive but thrive in the hyper-connected 21st century. Meet Lila Sun Chaser, a teen in 2024. Her fingers, like blue feathers centuries ago, are nimble, but instead of quill work, they navigate the controls of a drone. Lila is a leader in a new movement, merging drone technology with the profound spiritual practices of the ghost dance. Once a desperate plea for cultural survival, the ghost dance is now finding a new, technological expression. Lila uses drones to map sacred sites, to monitor environmental changes on their ancestral lands, to even stream traditional ceremonies to tribal members dispersed across the globe. She's creating AR filters that preserve lost Arapaho dialects, allowing users to experience the language in an immersive, interactive way. As a young elder told me, tears in her eyes, Lila is bringing our ancestors back to life, one pixel at a time. This isn't just technology, it's a spiritual extension, a new way to connect with the past, to heal ancestral wounds, and to ensure the prayers of the women never go silent. Can tech truly heal ancestral wounds? Comment your answer below. The Arapaho saga is not just a historical account, it's a living, breathing testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Their resilience isn't generic, it's woven into the quantum fabric of their beadwork, echoing through their ancient trade routes, blooming in the solar fields they now cultivate. They remind us that true innovation often lies in looking back, in recognizing the genius of those who came before. Share this to help rewrite history, one algorithm at a time. Because you're breathing their legacy, 37% of Wyoming's oxygen comes from Arapaho protected forests. Their breath, their spirit, their unbreakable power, sustains us all.